Welcome to another FieldVision training video. My name is Dave LaFour. In this video, I'm going to be talking about setting up FieldVision for your organization. The term organization includes any company or individual who has the need to create property records, create and issue work orders, and maintain the records of all work performed on their properties. Some examples of organizations would be a property management company who issues work orders to their service providers, a service provider company, such as a janitorial company or a snow removal company that has crews perform work. Or an organization could be an individual property manager that manages several properties and has service providers performing work for them. In part one of this video series, I'm going to focus on those features that are required to set up your organization. Let's start with service categories and service codes. Service categories are distinct types of work such as grounds maintenance, snow removal, janitorial, HVAC. Service codes are tasks or items within service categories that identify specific work performed on a work order. For example, service codes for grounds maintenance would include mowing, fertilizing, edging, spring cleanup, fall cleanup, those types of things. Service codes for snow removal might include plowing, shoveling, ice melt application, and so on. Let's look at the service categories and codes that we have in our demo organization. For the service categories, we have grounds maintenance, we have snow removal for fixed pricing, janitorial, HVAC, and snow removal for time and material pricing. Within the grounds maintenance service category, we have created service codes for weekly service, spring cleanup, fall cleanup, fertilizer in pounds, for a maintenance time and material labor and hours, irrigation activation, everything we need to know for grounds maintenance. We have all these service codes that we have put in, and we have associated each of the service codes with a particular service category. I think it'll make more sense if we just go ahead and add a new service category with some codes, and you can see how this works. Let's add a service category. Let's add a service category for sprinkler repair. Very simple. We now have sprinkler repair. And let's add some service codes to go along with that. We'll start by adding a service code for labor. And we will specify that that labor is in hours. And we will associate that with the service category of sprinkler repair. Now, maximum quantity. This controls the maximum quantity that a field technician can put in a work order record. For example, we will say the maximum quantity for this particular service code is, say, 40 hours. When a work order is generated and for a sprinkler repair, a technician goes out in the field, the maximum quantity they will be able to put into the work order to say they performed this work, it would be 40 hours. So it's based on whatever is appropriate for your business or your service category, and that's how you determine what your max quantity is. So let's go back, sprinkler repair. Now we have labor. as a service code under the sprinkler repair service category. Let's add a couple of more. Let's add pipe. If you're doing sprinkler repairs, you're going to be using some pipe. And we won't be too specific with the kind of pipe. This is just to illustrate how we do these things. So pipe in linear feet. Service category there again, sprinkler repair. And we could sure use a lot of pipe. We might be able to use 1,000 feet of pipe if it was a big repair job. But here's one hot tip for you. When we put the max quantity, if you put in an integer number, meaning a whole number, it will allow you to put in integer values when the tech is out in the field and he says, I used this many, this particular quantity of this service code. If you put in a decimal value, like 1,000.5, it will allow you to put in decimals in that quantity field when you're updating the work order. Okay, so back to categories. So now we have pipe and linear feet. Let's do one more. Add a service code, and we will pick a spray head. There again, there's a million types of spray heads out there, so we won't be too specific. And we could say each. All right. Service category under sprinkler repair. Maximum quantity, let's say 100. All right. So there we have put in a new service category, sprinkler repair. We've put in service codes for labor, pipe, or spray head, and each would be individual spray heads. So if you had a sprinkler repair and it was 10 broken spray heads, you could fix them all, put in a quantity of 10, and save that as a part of the field technician updating that work order with the repairs that they did. So one of the first things you got to do is to get the service categories and the service codes that are appropriate to the type of business that you are running. It's going to be different for everybody. You can make this as simple or as complex as you like. You can have, within a service category, you can mix and match different types of service codes. You could have labor service codes. You could put in very specific part numbers for your service codes. Particular type of spray head, and there's all kinds of them. You could put in exact descriptions or part numbers of the things that your field technicians are going to need when they go update the work orders. And that's how you can enable your organization to use FieldVision while using the kinds of categories and codes that are appropriate to your business. Now, another big benefit here is when you put these in, there is an optional data export that you can sign up for, and every day you would get an export of data for all the activity that is done by your field technicians. If you put in service categories and codes that match maybe what you have in your accounting system or in your CRM, customer relationship management system, those things you can match them up in your office and generate reports, generate billing from that, and streamline your operation while using FieldVision. Now let's move on to work order types. Work order types help to identify the type of work order you will be creating. In this case, for this demo account, I've got one-time service, I've got recurring service, monthly, annual service, and non-billable service. This helps to differentiate one type of work order from another type. These are the work order types that I have created for this particular demo account. You will need to create the work order types that are appropriate for your business. If you run the kind of business where every work order is a single one-time service, for example, if you're running a repair business, you would most likely create, say, a one-time service or a repair service work order type. If you're running the kind of business that has a seasonal component to it, or a yearly, a contractual component like janitorial. You may get a contract to do janitorial for a year, once a week. So that would fall under recurring service, and you would know that you could issue one work order that would cover the entire season, as opposed to issuing 52 one-time service work orders, one for each service of the week. So there's really not much to this. Just create your work order types. Let's do this as a repair. One time. And you'll see when we start creating work orders how that fits in, but just know that you want to create work order types that are appropriate for your business. That does it for part one of the setting up your organization. Please proceed to the part two video.